Hi, this is Natalie Rydstrom. Welcome to Oddsmarket.com. On the line is Stuart from Tips to HQ. We're going to take a look at the Tuesday's Champions League matches taking place tomorrow and basically sort of looking at the odds, the lines, how they've moved, and is there any value picks out there that we can take right now. Now, obviously, Man City and PSG, they drew 2-2 on the first leg. So Man City do come with quite an advantage here, 2 away goals and the home advantage. And I'm actually surprised to see them as the slight underdogs. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, they are the favourites to qualify out of these two, so they're not really underdogs as far as the game goes. I think people are expecting this to be a fairly tight draw, which is why the odds for the draw has come in a little bit. Mm-hmm. So, if it was to be 1-1, then Manchester City would qualify.
Mm-hmm. Well, interesting though, they were priced 2.3 at Bet365 on April 6th. They're on their first leg. They're now 2.8 at Bet365. Why this rise in odds? Well,
they got 2 good away goals against PSG at the Parc des Princes, and they also played extremely well. They controlled the game for a period of time, and also PSG really were not on top of their game. Now, PSG's goalkeeper, Kevin Trapp, has been injured in his last match and will not make this one. So, they'll be relying on, well, let's not say substitute, because Salvatore Sirigu is a very, very good player, but it's not their number one choice.
Well, subsequently, obviously, PSG has gone from 3.10 on April 6th. They're now priced 2.55 at Bet365. So someone's making money, depending on when they bet. What are you expecting on the outrights?
On the outrights, I think the PSG are going to win this one. So for me, I think the PSG away win would be fairly reasonable, I have to say. I think the odds are quite good there. Mm-hmm. Even better, I like the to qualify odds. I think there's a little bit of extra leeway in there, whichever way it goes.
Well, obviously, they're priced 2.55 now, a drop from 3.10 on April 6th. So you obviously would have made more money back on April 6th. Do you expect those odds to go anywhere until the start of the match tomorrow?
I think we may see a little bit of movement yet. It's come down quite a long way, but I think there might be just a touch more movement in it. So, there's still time for people to get a bet on. Certainly, if they're trading, then it might be okay for them.
Now, another bet that is very popular is the over 2.5 goals. It's currently at 1.62 Bet365. It was 1.8 there around April 6th on their first leg. Has the value dropped now below sort of making any sort of decent profit? Would you still take the over at now the 1.62?
Not at those kind of odds. I think you wanted to look for 1.7 and above, really. As I said, a 1-1 draw would see Manchester City through, and they'd probably be very happy with that. PSG, on the other hand, would not.
Yeah.
So, I personally think this game is going to go over 2.5. The bookies clearly think that as well, and so did the general public, which is why these odds are coming such a long way.
Yeah, well as both teams to score 1.5, that's incredibly low, so definitely goals are predicted from both sides. I'm just wondering whether it's going to be a little bit more cagey on this one. Man City are really going to try and stop PSG scoring in this match.
Man City are not a particularly good defensive side, to be fair. Vincent Kompany is going to be missing this one. There was a little bit of discussion as to whether he'd make it, but he's been ruled out today. Mm-hmm. So with him definitely missing this match, I don't think they can afford to play defensively. I don't think they've got that in them. You look at the Man City side and they look best going forward. Certainly now that De Bruyne is back, he makes a big difference for them.
Now, 2 bets I really like, actually, because I think this is going to be very close. You can either back Man City plus 0.25, and that's 1.79 Bet Victor, or PSG plus 0.25 and 1.64 also Bet Victor. So basically, if there is a draw, you stand to make half your money. If you're going for the PSG win, if you were to take that 1.64, is that enough value for you to take that bet?
Not enough value for me. I'd want a bit more than that, I have to say. I think, again, you're probably looking 1.75 for that to really be of any real value.
And you mentioned that PSG to qualify. That's a bet that you particularly like for this match. What are the odds for that?
I believe the odds are around, let me just quickly check. The latest update, 2.25 at Bet365. I think that's a pretty good set of odds for PSG to qualify in this one.
All right, so now moving on to the second of Tuesday's matches, Real Madrid versus Wolfsburg. Obviously, Wolfsburg pulled quite the upset 2-0 win there, currently 8th in the Bundesliga. Does lightning strike twice, Stuart?
I would hope not, I have to say, because I've actually backed Real Madrid to qualify in this one. I've got a bit of my own money running on this one. I think they're going to come back. I think they could win this one 3-0 and get a pretty good win. Solid. They've rested some players at the weekend, Karim Benzema, Gareth Bale. They rested those 2 players against Eibar, and they were still 4-0 up at half time. So that shows you the quality that is in this side. If they decide to turn it on, can they turn it on though?
Well, I tell you, you've actually gone for a good one there, because I think Real Madrid just to win 1.22 Paddy Power, I think that's incredibly low. Maybe one for an accumulator, but it's not one I'm touching. But like you said, Real Madrid to qualify, that's 2 William Hill. Quite a sort of change, obviously, because they do need to overturn that 2-goal deficit. Yeah,
they're going to need to attack, and they're really going to need to go for it. And that really could give Wolfsburg a chance. Wolfsburg get 1 goal. Real Madrid are going to need to score 4 to qualify.
Now, I tell you where the odds are very low, and that's for the over 1.3 Stan James. There is value, though, if you're going to pay the over 3.5, and that's 1.73 bet 365. Would that be a bet that you would entertain?
No, I think that's a little bit too far. It's a step too far for me. I think this one probably will finish 3-0 to Real Madrid. But, if Wolfsburg get that goal, then all bets are off.
Yeah, I have to say though, if you're a value better, the value is definitely in the under 3.6 bet 365. But then that really is, you've got to sort of consider whether Wolfsburg will get that goal, and Wolfsburg will be trying for that goal.
Well, I don't know. Wolfsburg have got a good head start, and if they just manage to keep things tight, which they could do. I mean, Wolfsburg come from the Bundesliga, and that league is no joke. If they manage to keep things tight, then they could go through at the expense of Real Madrid, which for me would be the biggest shock of this entire Champions League campaign so far.
Yeah, they sure would. Well, I tell you, interesting as well, back on April 6th, Real Madrid were priced 7 to win the Champions League as a result of their loss to Wolfsburg. They're now priced 10 at bet 365. Would you back them to win the Champions League at this stage? No,
I think there are 2 better sides in the competition. I think they still need a stroke of luck to win it. There is some value in that if you actually think that Real Madrid have got a chance, but I like to back winners. Once I think will actually come through.
Yeah.
So betting on the off chance that maybe Barcelona and Bayern Munich face each other in the next round, that's not for me.
Yeah, all right. What do you say then is the sort of the value pick in this match? Somebody just wanted to place one bet.
Value pick in this match, we talked about it earlier. I think it's Real Madrid to qualify. I think those are pretty good odds.
Yeah, they're very good indeed, actually. And I think that, again, is a result of their 2-0 deficit that they've got to overturn. So Real Madrid to qualify. That was Stuart from tipstahq.com, who has written an article for us over at Oddsmarket. The link can be found in the description below this video if you guys want to check it out. Stuart, thank you for joining us.